Okay, well, a day late, but better than not at all. Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn. I'm Shawn. And I know you're seeing this on a Tuesday. I'm recording this on a Monday, just so you can keep up with kind of time schedule. Due to the storm, Asif making the very wise decision to postpone the show to shoot today. So this week, you're going to get the benefit of me shooting 2 shows, which meant also I spent the weekend doing inventory, which means I have an idea what's coming up in the next show. You're going to love the next show. You love the last few shows. And today's show, some special things that I have not, in the 7 years of doing this podcast, ever brought to you before. So some exciting stuff. And some things that you're going to enjoy that are going to help with the learning curve. Now, we did, as part of the trivia, instead of questions, we did the what is this? In other words, and I put out the most different specimens that I've ever done. And it's not a guessing game, as some of you have referred to it as. No, you're giving your best educated answers based on the information that you have in your head. Therefore, it's not a guess. It's never a guess unless you have absolutely no idea about them. You know, if someone pointed to a bizarre mountain in the middle of the Andes and said, do you know the name of that mountain? Well, it would be a guess if I got it right, because I would have no idea about that. But all of you have some level of knowledge and education on those mineral items. So therefore, it is an answer. No guessing here, okay? I'm the professor and my students don't guess. They answer. All right, I've got a lot to do today. So, also, Miss Penny, Miss Penny sent me the most wonderful goodie box with pictures of her trip to, of course, she's from Greece, as we know, lives in Quebec now, but she went to Nova Scotia and beyond, and sent me some incredible pictures and some rocks to go with them and some stories. So, Miss Penny, we won't be addressing those items in this show because guess what? Some of those rocks you sent me back, I have been doing a little investigation work on them. Some are, I guess you would put it mildly radioactive. Absolutely, because you have that granite. I love the tumble effect. Everyone's going to get to see what I'm talking about, referring to. We're going to bring them in Thursday. Also, I have been going through the pictures, and if it's okay with you, I do want to show one of Mahali, boy, who used to be our youngest rock hound, but boy, he is really growing up and to be a young man now, and certainly a really great-looking young man. So that was neat to see him, and I won't include your picture, Miss Penny, per your request. But anyway, she has some great shots of some neat geological features that I'll show as well. We have a guest in our studio today. His name is Corduroy. He is 6 years old, and he is the son of Chuck, the cameraman that, of course, we had last week that I had talked about, that is an amazing woodworker. And he is here doing a great job. And he is so concerned always about getting the shot right. So he knows exactly how to follow directions, and that's all it takes. And, with a very short, small learning curve, he'll be doing just as well as anyone else. Mr. Corduroy, you want to step behind over here and say hi to everybody? You'll be the first guest I have ever had. Come on around back here. Come around back here where I am. And come here. There's the camera, and that's what you look like on it, the way everybody is seeing you right there. Say hi to everybody out there.
Hey.
And tell them your name.
My name's Corduroy.
Tell them how old you are.
6.
Do you like rocks and minerals?
Yes.
Yes? Or do you collect some?
Yeah, I have some at home.
Yeah? Do you know what names of any of them are?
I have amethyst.
Amethyst, yeah? Tell everyone what your birthstone is. Remember?
Opal.
Opal, exactly. And of course, I told him it's my favorite stone, my son's birth month, my mom's birth month. Can't go wrong with opal. So he's going to sit and enjoy the show and learn as we go as well. Thank you, Mr. Corduroy. You've done well. And you can watch yourself tomorrow on TV at home. Huh? Won't that be something? Okay. So, Mahali's grown up. It was Mahali before. But yeah, corduroy, like your rocks and minerals, never too young to start. All of us usually grow up, picking up pebbles or a rock, have some interest. The majority of everyone strays away from that interest. Myself, once I was glued to being a rock hound, I never strayed, and I am here today witness to that. So let's get going on the comments, then a great show ahead for you. Okay, so on the trivia, it was 6 different specimens, and so we'll do the trivia answers as we go along, and then we'll announce the winner, because there was only one person that got the most out of the 6 correct. So we'll find out who that is. Okay, so I just realized, because you heard me mention that Asif had stepped out, but then my microphone went dead, and we're not sure at what point that we lost audio. So it's actually at a good point, because we were going to do the trivia. So if we lost some comments prior to this, let me just read through how everyone did. Miss Elisa got 4 out of 6 correct. Miss Gabby got 5 out of the 6. Miss Barbara got 4 out of the 6 correct. Miss Cindy got 3 out of 6. Mr. Brad got 4 out of 6. And Miss Penny got 3 out of 6. So everyone actually did quite well with there being 6 of them. Now, let's go through these and take a look to see, then you'll know if what you got right or wrong. All right, the first one, everybody got this one correct. It is a moldavite, type of tektite, and of course it has that incredible green color that you see. Next, this, absolutely, everyone got this one correct. That is a ruby crystal. And yes, it fluoresces like nobody's business. Look at that color to it. But the reason I've never offered this for sale is technically, yes, it is a ruby corundum crystal. I believe it to be lead filled and treated. So I wouldn't sell something like that. But there's a lesson one day. I'll show you how to tell on a piece like that. It was actually easier. I made it more difficult. I cleaned off there was actually some glass on the outside, so I know that it's been glass filled. This one, yes, very much looks like an agate. Very much. Except it has a reflection that agate often does not. It does fluoresce. So if it's banded, it's yellow and purple, which, let's see, next show, you may want to look at something that's yellow and purple and fluorite from the Elmwood mine that I have next week, and it has reaction halos. So look for that coming up in next Monday's show. This is fluorite, banded fluorite, with yellow and purple, oddly enough, except this is, the banded fluorites like this don't form quite like that from the Elmwood mine. This is more of the massive fluorite that's often found in China. This, I think it was Brad that did really well on this one. A lot of all of you did not get this one correct. This is a spinel crystal. And that threw a lot of people off. I hadn't shown any spinels, but this one does feature enough of the crystal formation to it that is how you would be able to tell. Let's see. Miss Gabby describes it. The orange half octagon question mark looks like the best triplite. This is, let's see here. Oh, this was Miss Barbara. And and that you never offered. I love that. And so she would be right. The color looks very much like triplite. But you can see right there, that is a classic look to a spinel crystal. Let's see, Miss Gabby, how she described it. She just said spinel. Well done. And yes, I would think that this would fluoresce a bright red, which it normally would, but I think that that color orange and the iron in it is quenching some of the fluorescence that you would normally find in that color spinel. Look at this. The etched is right. That was a correct description for this. And it is an aquamarine. It is an aquamarine. You can see the crystal. Yeah, perfect. Now this one, I don't think anyone got right. This one threw everyone off. Even though I showed this intentionally featuring what you could see is an outer rind of color and an inner portion that's pink, and the outer is kind of a yellowish green. Well, there's only one real mineral that loves to look like that, and that would be tourmaline, bicolor tourmaline. And so that's the one that threw most everyone off, and I had to make it a little bit difficult. So those are the 6, and Miss Gabby saying spodumene on this one, which of course, especially with the striations and that color, was an excellent answer. All right. And oddly enough, but that's the magic to the show, item number, I think you have that already. This is, hold on, let me make sure we get to show off the whole real color to what you're getting here. The free item is triplite. Take a look at this. A parcel of triplite for the winning free item. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. And you can see why Miss Barbara said about the orangey pink color in the spinel looking like the best triplite I never offered. That would be correct, because that would be stunning. But you can see, look at the nice triplites. This is about as well as triplite forms in crystals when it's in matrix. So there's some really neat matrix pieces here, and then some nice individual pieces as well. And the way to display something like this, if you're displaying it, is with maybe the best centerpiece you might have, and then sprinkle a bunch of these around it, because you get an idea. Because this is pretty much how triplite comes out of the ground. There is no beautiful multi-crystal clusters in matrix. It just does not form like that, and all the crystals are very kind of crude formation. But there's a lot of triplite that you really don't notice the color until you really backlight some of this, and then you get to see just how much of it is is triplite, the gem itself. Because looking at that, you can see it, but if you just look at it like that, you don't see as much as it's really there. And that's the case with a lot of that material. So congratulations there to Miss Gabby. She opts out most of the time, but this time jumped in on it and did well. 5 out of 6. This triplite was only found in one small pocket in 2015, and I think I bought up a good portion of it at the time, just not the real high-end stuff. If there was any, someone else had gotten that. I probably wouldn't have been able to afford it anyway, but it was nice to be able to get in on what I did, and then so can all of you. Okay, let me put that away, and I'll be right back with the start of the show and some other interesting items to show you. All right, mind-blowing. For those of you that don't get Rock and Gem, maybe even if you did, maybe you've missed this, because it was right inside the back page. Rainbow lattice feldspar. If you have never seen a piece of this material, it is mind-blowing. Read the bottom real quick. It's from Australia. Only a small amount was discovered. That's what we just, okay, the bluish whitish reflection is the adulorescence, and then its aventurescence, shimmer and glow, comes from the sunstone, and its iridescent, changing color with the angle held, lattice-like highlights come from the included magnetite and hematite. All right, now, this stone is amazing, and I was getting really excited when I first heard about it years ago. But then here's the part that kind of shot me down as far as really wanting to get into the materials. Every single bit that I found has to be treated. What I mean by treatment isn't treated to bring out this type of color. It is resin and epoxy bonded treated, basically to hold it together. Kind of like the treatments like with turquoise that they do, it is to maintain the stability of turquoise, and it often changes the color. That's not the case with this material. That what they do is, because you're going to get to see this in a minute, but if you can see, even this piece shows there are a lot of internal inclusions that makes the stability of it not usable for jewelry unless a treatment is done. I am going to give you an opportunity not to buy one. Sorry, not yet, but I always change my mind. I'm going to show you one in person though. Look at this. Just to show you, if you ever wondered, look at that. Great shot from a distance even. Wow, look at that. That is rainbow lattice feldspar, folks, in person. Now look at that. There's the blue. Did you see that blue? And there's the incredible, what feldspar and moonstone often has, of course, is that adulorescence. So you have that. And then did you see, look at that blue shimmer it just talked about, right? But there's the money shot. There is the money shot. Look at that piece. And you can see, look at the triangles. You can see the geology, the crystallization, everything going on regarding the impurities in it that are helping do that. And then if you understand lattice diffraction and all that, it might help you understand more about the colors. That can get quite technical. But if you look at this piece overall, here's what I'm talking about. That has not been tumbled. That is a, wow, look at it from even this side. Look at the colors. That is phenomenal. But you can see that it has been bonded, or whatever they call it, resin treated. And that would be necessary because you could never cut a stone out of it. Now, after doing so, I could cut a cabochon on this, but to me, it's far more beautiful leaving it just as it is, because you get to see from all the angles, all the different plays of color. So let me know if any of you out listening, let me know if any of you have a specimen of this material. I'm just curious to see if, even if a Miss Gavious barber, if any of you have anything like that. But I thought, since it was in the Rock and Gem magazine, that I would actually show you one up close and personal, because this piece has all three things that are what make this desirable. That is, look at that. That is an incredible blue that I don't see in any other moonstone. Not like that. And then it has, look at that, an incredible kind of moonstone adventure, adulorescence. And then, of course, the lattice diffraction. All three of those, you see how small of an angle, how little I moved the stone to capture each of those, is at just a very slight difference in angle from one to the next. And that would make an amazing gem if you did nothing else but wire wrapped it. So think about that, because from so many different angles that you would look at it, as you could come away with an effect of blue, or that diffraction grading. I know I'm winding you all up, and then, to not offer for sale, how terrible of me. But you know how I change my mind and sell off my best stuff, because if I was willing to sell those hidden nights last week, then you know that I am. And I'm also going to offer, getting ready here in just a moment, to offer something that I've never offered in this show before that is also, again, mind-blowing. And since we just talked about it, and we did, so see if you can think about what it is I might be referring to, and I'm going to show them to you in just a moment after I finish enjoying on the big screen TV in super HD, 6, 8, 20K, whatever. That is the good stuff. And to enjoy seeing the item that way for me is a treat, as it should be for all of you at home, because then you get it home and get to play with it yourself like I do. Okay, all right, let me put this up. I'll be right back. Okay, as promised, everybody, this is Shawn's homegrown crystal, and there's actually a mineral name for it. Hey, if you'll pull up the item number, and just don't leave the item number up. Because these are not for sale. It's item 120-9424. Oh, maybe it's not even in there. This might be. No. Okay, that's fine. Okay, it'll be in next week's. Okay, because there is a particular type of mineral name. It's called kaolinite with a K. And what it is potassium aluminum sulfate, AKA alum. This is just alum. Now, I have added the coloring to make it this color. There's something else I added. And remember the seed crystals I showed you last week? I grew this large of a crystal. Let me show you. This large of a crystal in 6 days from this size. Remember last week how I showed you the seed crystals I had grown? So I wrapped this wire around one of these. Now, this fluoresces an amazing, brightest lime green you have ever. Oh, there we go. There's the lime green right there, isn't it, Latif? There it is. Okay, you can see the lime green centers to this piece. That is fluorescence. Let me actually put some white behind it and see if it helps in any. No, it doesn't help in any, does it? Nope, it takes away from it. So here we go. All right, so what I did, and I have never seen this actually in nature, but it probably has occurred or does occur somewhere. So this fluoresces lime green. I took a seed crystal like that, wrapped this wire around it, and in 5 days, grew it into this size. Look at the difference. In 5 days, only at room temperature. And then what I did was I added a coloring and another chemical to make the second generation growth. And all we're doing is mimicking what Mother Nature does itself when you see phantoms and other, or when you see rutile needles inside a quartz crystal. That's all it is another generation of chemicals that come through and grow their crystals over it. Look at this. Now, this is monoclinic in its crystal formation. It's a hardness of only 2. Look at this. It looks almost like bipyramidal crystal on the end. And when you look at these, you can actually see phantom growths in them. And how that occurred is because I would take them out to look at them, which you're not really supposed to do, but I couldn't help it. But I wanted to see if it would do it, and it did. So let's see if you can see any of the, no, you don't see it that well, but you can see it actually with your eye, the different, are you in all the way, Chuck? There we go. So you can actually see those different layers of growth? Those are the times I took it out to look at it. And when I put it back in, that much disturbance caused it to create a phantom growth in the crystal. Now, let me put the light on this, because what I did was, you can, there's the green in the middle, okay? So there's the green seed crystal. What you're not actually seeing so well is this secondary formation on the crystal fluoresces an orange red. Not this pinkish purple, it is orange red. So it's a bicolor fluorescent crystal or mineral. And I have never seen a bicolor fluorescent of fluorescence. You know, fluorescence is just usually one color, not a color of one growth stage, fluorescing one color on the inside of an exterior growth. So this is a Shawn original. And I tell you what, I was pretty thrilled with it, and why I couldn't help but to check on it. Look at that. Look at the fluorescence. So I had 2 of them. That one. And here is the other one I grew. And if you look at this one, again, beautiful, beautiful crystallization. And so this is at room temperature. A lot of people think minerals have to grow at these high temperatures or high pressures and whatnot. Well, diamonds do, but many, many minerals can grow through evaporation or fumaroles, those are steam vents coming from volcanoes, or just at room temperature like calcites and rhodochrosites and things. And this, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all the little small crystals on it. So I'm going to use this to grow an even larger one. But again, it all started with just a little seed crystal. And that's, if you want to try this at home, it's real easy to do. You can go to the hobby shops, get one of those crystal growing kits, or you can just get alum and dissolve it 50 milligrams to 200 milliliters. And then start with, it'll form its own, put something in there that is like a little rock, and it'll start forming its own crystals on it, and then you'll have a seed crystal to grow a bigger one around if you want to do it that way. So anyway, a lot of fun. And what it is, it gives you an education and helps you to understand how in nature you see the different crystal growths, like even rutile in quartz or the phantoms, and wonder how that happens. Well, this certainly helps even me to understand it better, and me showing you for you to understand it better as well. So, and besides that, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Okay, now, speaking of something else that's a lot of fun with Chuck here, I am going to show you, I have item number, so now we're going to finally start selling stuff, and I got a bunch of stuff to offer. So I need to get the show on the road, including a stunning, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to tease you with it. And yeah, so by the way, it was kaolinite is the name. So if you want to look that up. And here's the other thing, interesting. Kaolinite, named that way, is for calcium. Calcium. Remember I said that this was a potassium aluminum sulfate. The chemical symbol for potassium, some are easy to understand, like C for carbon or H for hydrogen. Other ones, copper, Cu, that gets a little bit different. Gold, Au for aurum, that gets a little bit maybe more difficult, but some of them are really tricky. Like potassium is the letter K, but here's why. It comes from the word kalium, which means potassium. And half of the world's languages and countries actually use the word kalium for potassium. So we're just not used to that use of the word for potassium, but a lot of the world is. Okay, what I'm going to show you next, I have, is a opportunity on a parcel that I have never offered before, and it is really unique, and it's going to allow me the opportunity to show you another cool property. So this is item 1204624, and it will be for sale. Now, with Chuck's help, did you get that item number? Okay. With Chuck's help, I am going to show you first the crystals. These are just two of them. So first, let me show you, take this away and put it somewhere safe. This is how I actually have it packed so it would not arrive in one piece. Look at that, huh? That's the right way to do it. Plus, it looks really pretty in there. Okay, check this out. I am going to, hold on, let me take that alexandrite out. Let me show you these first. Check these out. Check these out. East African chromium tourmaline. And I am talking about the real deal. Look at the color to these. That is a really rare offering. These are facetable. And this is the way most of the rough comes out. Very little is in a crystalline form. Now, why I say East African, because there's an area between Kenya and Tanzania that is, things are found on both sides of the border. So you don't really know exactly all the time where some things are coming from. They're just coming from a region, so to speak. All right, now, I took two of these out of here. Actually, one of the best crystals. Look at this crystal. Look at how beautiful This one is. It actually has a really nice shape. Look at the termination to it. That actually, as a crystal, makes it quite valuable and desirable. And there's the other end of it. I guess that had been broken off from something, but look at how pretty. Look at the colors in that. That's beautiful. Okay, if it is genuine chrome tourmaline, you can use a Chelsea filter. A Chelsea filter is a type of filter that is used for detecting chrome in an object. Now, I have different Chelsea filters. I prefer, when it comes to something like that, to use more of the brand name actual Chelsea filters than some of the ones that you can get that are cheaper. I don't know. For the amount of money and the difference it can make in determining something, it's just worth to spend a few extra bucks. So, here we go. I'm going to put a Chelsea filter in front of it, and if it has chrome in its makeup, the gem should turn a pink to a reddish color. If not, I'm going to be very embarrassed. So let's just see what happens here. And we have a beautiful red gem. And look at this. Look at that green to that red. Look at that. And that is exactly what it's supposed to do. You can see that incredible red hue in that gem. I could have cleaned my Chelsea filter a little bit better. But that, look at that. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let me get that light reflecting off of there. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. There's the money shot. Let's put another one up there. Let's take a look at this one. Boom. Wow. Look at that. Okay, there's the color. And there's the color in the Chelsea filter. Look at that. That is exactly what it's. I'd go through all of them just for the fun of it, but you get the idea. Thank you, sir. We'll put these back in the tray. Let's show them the tray. Look at the goods here. Now, a parcel like this, in this kind of quality and color, you would do good to even find as a faceter to, and what they would charge for that in a per carat situation would be a lot of money. Now, I actually had these to be cut by my cutter, and my notes on it was cut best shape for the rough. And that were my notes to it. This was a long time ago, and that's because they are cuttable. I just ended up not sending them, and I decided, okay, I'm going to offer these for sale to anyone, to you guys first. If not, I may have these sent off to be cut into some beautiful gems, and of course, then they're going to be worth a lot more money. But how about this? $68 for the parcel. For something that is extremely expensive. So that's less than $5 a carat for the rough, which is, well, I always hate to say that because it sounds so repetitive. A really good deal. Just believe me, it's a really good deal. And if nothing else, cut these, keep this one for the collection, because let me tell you that just like that big crystal barrel, even a stone, a crystal like this, seldom would survive not being cut. The clarity was still plenty fine and good enough, and they would get more money from the cut stone than the piece of rough. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the clarity. There is easily, I see a gem in there that's actually quite clean. And look at all these. So they all check chrome tourmaline, no savorite in the bunch, and parcel, an opportunity that would be hard to come by anywhere else. All right, let's look at the next opportunity. Item 120, 6424. 120, 6424. And look at this. Here, these are actually mined right alongside of them a lot of times. They're actually found, savorites found together. Tourmalines are found in the same area oftentimes. Look at this. Tanzanian tanzanite. But it's, remember how I tell you things, they cut them anyway, just like that tourmaline. Oh yeah, those tourmalines are absolutely facet grade quality. If tanzanite is a type 1 gemstone. In other words, it is expected to be clean. So when you have tanzanite that has inclusions, what do they do with it? Well, they still faceted it. It's obvious that they still will facet it versus crushing it up into little to make gemstone paintings or something. Look at these. Unless these are sapphires and I'm giving them away, which is always potentially possible because of the amount of inventory I have. I usually try to check for these things, but that doesn't always happen the way it's supposed to. And I'm going to show you a stone here in a bit that is one like that. Those better be tanzanites. I do have a tanzanite filter that I could use and check them, but I tell you what, even it's just a cutting, and one is suspicious to me for a sapphire, but that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to know because then I wouldn't be able to give you the deal I'm getting ready to give you. How about all of those? Wow. I know, Latif. What are you thinking too? Especially, Latif's going to shoot me when I tell the price. $18 for them all. Yep, I know. It doesn't take much to be able to realize there's $18 of value. That one sitting right there in the front is... Anyway, I keep offering other colors just because look at Mother Nature. I mean, to find things like that out of the ground that Mother Nature makes, I mean, how remarkable is that? Those colors. Yeah, I mean, that almost is inexpensive enough if you're working on, like Miss Penny is, a really fine, nice, high-end gemstone painting at some point. Smash them up. What other color could you get? That's just a unique kind of color, okay? I mean, I don't really mean to smash them up. But sometimes if you're doing something really cool, sometimes it's worth it. Let me show you another rare opportunity. Item 1207824. And look at this. I have held onto these because I was going to do something with them, of course, right? For many, many, many years. They go back to my times when I was in Australia. 1992. I know exactly when I was in Australia. 1992. And look at these. Australian green sapphires. So let me show you. They're greener than they just look. Chuck is going to make them look like they're supposed to. Latif laughs at me all the time, so don't worry. Just brush me off when I tell him. Now make those the color they are, Chuck. Seriously, look at it in person. They're a lot greener than they are. Mm-hmm. And play with the little thing up and down, whatever you got to do. But anyway. Green sapphires are never super green. They can be a dark kind of olive green at times. Oftentimes, though, then you get into zoning. These are a natural color green. I actually bought these in Australia. And there you go. That's more kind of the color that they are. And I don't see much blue in them. So if you're seeing blue in them, there's really not any blue. But this color, this kind of mint green, or yellowish green. And here's the difference. It matters on the wavelength of light. So I'm going to try something. Let's try a different wave. Look at there. Here we go. Different wavelength of light. Look at that. Because you see how I have yellowish green in there? I wasn't seeing the yellow. Now, this is the color they are. This is the actual color the eye sees. Now we have it. This is why. And this is everything about wavelength of light. And so with me just turning on this little extra light I have, that gave me exactly the wavelength of light to replicate the color that they actually look, which is green with some yellow in it. Anyway, another really great opportunity for not a lot of money. Now you're talking about green sapphire, so these are they're a natural green. So for that color, and if you wanted to play with them, you could probably enhance the cut for any of you that cut out there, and brighten some of them up. Some of them look like they're native cut. they're Australian sapphires, but I was working with an Australian dealer, and he does most of his business in Thailand. So I'm sure that they were cut in Thailand, no doubt. All right, price on these only $48. So that's like less than, you know what? Let's do this. Let's make them exactly that. Let's make them $44. $44, $10 a carat. And that is easy math. When you're talking 12 stones, also easy math, you're talking about like $3.50 a stone or so. That, when you look at it that way and know how long it takes to cut a stone, oh, there's a pear shape in there. $3 and there's another pear shape. Wow, $3.50 a stone is really inexpensive. And that's why I kept buying for my collection. I just kept buying parcels and deals and things like that when I saw it and adding them to it just to have. These are clean. These are clean. And very little zoning, which is uncommon for this type of material. You often get a yellow-blue or a greenish-yellow by stripes kind of zoning. Okay, let me keep going here. Lots to do. Oh, look at this. I bet corduroy will like this. Item number 120, 6124. It is a smiley face of gemstones. Look at this. You can tell I was having fun here. This parcel of 4 stones took me forever to put together, believe it or not. I started off with wanting to create a parcel of yellow gems. And then I started looking, it's like, wow, I really do have these. And then I started really having a lot of fun. Okay, so before I open this up, let's just look at them. This is incredible, true imperial topaz. That's amazing. This, super amazing. This is, now remember, I had 2 collections, the Made in America collection that I focused on, which was all kind of different gems and minerals from the United States. The other was my birthstone collection, which was January, and the 6 different families of garnet. So that's why you'll see things like that, and like the kyanite from Virginia and things like that, unusual locality minerals from the United States. Look at that, what they call imperial hessonite, and you can see why they use the same imperial name. It's a registered trademark name by another TV network. And you know, I can't say that it's not probably a good name for the color of that garnet. That garnet was actually found only in one kind of area, and it is a grossular garnet, and it's quite beautiful. And it's not one of those inexpensive garnets. Look at this. This is old sapphire. You can actually see the zoning. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then this, look at this, Tanzanian zircon, natural color. Okay, now, let me put those right there while I put away these green sapphires. Now, I have, let me put these away. Okay, and then we'll open this up and you'll get to see these, because if someone said, I want you to put me together a parcel of 4 yellow stones, you know, and of high end, no citranes used. Well, what are you going to do? Yellow stones, not that easy to come by. Look at this. Now, let me turn on this other light. There we go. Now you're seeing the actual color. This is a real stunner. That's the sapphire. That's the sapphire. This is an old sapphire. I've had this a long time. It is prior to the days of diffusion. You can tell if they, and I'm going to show you, I'm actually offering yellow sapphires next week as parcels, and you're going to see a difference. I just couldn't get them ready for this show. By the color that this yellow is, which you're seeing it as it actually is, in person it's just a little bit brighter actually. Might be some grease on it or something. It's a more of a natural yellow. Heat treating, I am not sure. I'm not sure. But you can assume everything is heat treated. It's a very clean stone. There is underneath or next to the prong at the top, there is an inclusion in there. But look at that. That is a great stone nevertheless. Look, here's the one. Now this comes from my friend the Bella Vista mine in Ouro Preto, Brazil. imperial topaz. Look at that color. And what you want is, see the color, how it's darker on the ends like that? That is because of the dichroic nature of it. And that's why tourmalines, they cut straight down on the ends, so you don't have that darkening of the stone on the ends. Imperial topaz, they don't do that, which I'm glad, because that is often where you'll pick up the orange or the sherry color tones that gives it more of that imperial look that it needs to have to be able to be called imperial. Other than that, it should just be called yellow topaz. This goes into the orange color range, so it falls within, and I'm picky about that stuff. I would have no trouble calling this an imperial color tone. Look at that. And I love the scissor cut on it. Look at that, dead straight down the middle. Look at the way they've cut the facets to that. So I love the cutting on that. I'd have been proud to say I cut it. But for the Bella Vista mine, my friend owns it still. And I had told you stories about that mine and the incredible purple topaz crystal he found that was like 3 or 4 inches long. While he was actually coming to see me in Georgia, one of his trips through, and his cousin was running the mine when he was gone. And his cousin thought it was a lot of money when someone offered $25,000 to him for it. And his cousin sold it without consulting Sergio. Yeah, this is a true story. And it just broke his heart. He was so angry at his cousin. He didn't know what to do. But it was all about putting someone else in charge of your mind that doesn't know gemstones, and just thought 25 grand was a lot of money, which of course it would be. Normally, it's like, oh, I'm going to do good. My uncle's going to be proud of me, or my cousin. And no. The crystal alone, before cutting or anything, was over a $500,000 crystal at bare minimum. Bare minimum. Yeah, he was furious. So he said it was once in a lifetime find. And he goes, and I lost that opportunity. So it's a horrible story. But remember, Sergio is also the guy, when he first started out, in his working for his uncle, is the one with the suitcase full of amethysts. And he thought, as this young kid, all these amethysts, he was so impressed that he knew he could get chicks with it. And he was, he's a Brazilian, and that's the thing. So when you're 20, 21 years old, what he did, he spread those amethysts out all across the hotel bed, all across the hotel bed. And then, of course, invited his girlfriend over. And, of course, she was just as amazed and impressed. And then they decided to get wild on the amethyst. He told me the story. He said, Shawn, he goes, 99% of them were chipped. He goes, every single one had to be recut. Every single one. He had the cost of the cutting and the loss of the weight after the recutting of the chips out. And he said he's amazed his uncle ever forgave him. He goes, it makes for a great story decades later. He goes, but I paid a dear price for a long time in the industry of being made a fool of by everyone else. And I still tell the story to this day because it's a great story on one side, but on the other side, it's heartbreaking as a gem owner to have someone do that to your inventory. Look at this gem. Look at this. This is a zircon. How beautiful is that one? And a round, always difficult to find. And then the imperial Hessonite garnet. Look at that color. Look at that cut. I had quite a few of these some time ago, and you guys bought them all. I think I have one more I'm offering individually. I'll have to look, maybe. But look at that. It's even a really nice cut. Came from my garnet parcel, my garnet collection, to be able to include it in my yellow stone parcel I have here. Here we go. Price for the entire parcel is only, make sure I get this one right. This is odd because of the odd number. $145, I guess. Wow, the sapphire alone is worth that. $145. I know. Something's wrong with me. This stuff, this goes easily, wholesale $60 a carat. That, I don't know, maybe that's not a lot of money. This, This is 200 a carat. If you want to discount it and make it super cheap, let's say 100 a carat. That alone weighs a carat 45. There's your $145 right there. I think that's exactly why. You remember how I always end things in an 8? Instead of everyone doing a 9, well, 9 is not a lucky number. 8 is, or 7, right? So I'm into that. It's just an easy number instead of 9s. 8 is actually a real discount versus trying to fool 149 or that. So, but why I did 145, now I remember. Because I wanted it to come out where it was $145 for this stone, only 100 a carat, and you got the other 3 free. Look at that color. That is indeed imperial topaz. And then, so you get this yellow sapphire free. And you get, that's a real, that's Shawn being dumb. That's, okay, so if you don't want to get that parcel, anybody don't get that parcel. I'm going to show you something else really nice. 120, 70, 24. 120, 70, 24. But if you want a really good deal, don't give me the opportunity to break that up and sell those individually. I don't know what I was trying to do with doing a smiley face and 4 yellow stones. I just thought it'd be something different, but I certainly didn't price it that way. And now I know why I didn't put 148. That was exactly why. I wanted the $100 a carat on the imperial topaz, which is about half of what it would be wholesale. And then be able to say, and the rest you get free. So I get to say that and lose money at the same time. Look at this next stone. This is one I've had for a long time because it is, oh man, it is, remember how I told you about the magazine I got when I was a child, and my older brothers, who were we were all teens, they were older teens, made fun of me because my centerfold in my magazine was all about, true story, inclusion of the month. Inclusion of the month. So when I opened my centerfold to my magazine, it folded out, and my brothers just teased me endlessly as they, of course, went underneath the mattress and pulled out their version of the centerfold of what it's supposed to look like. And but I don't care. I still preferred my inclusion of the month. That was before I discovered girls. And I kept this stone around. Look at the difference. Look at the beautiful colors. Look at the beautiful colors. Look at that. The yellows against the blues. All right, look at this. Now, why? Because this stone has some of the most amazing inclusions in it that are very clear. And I'm going to sit it up here, so if you'll just follow me, Chuck. And I can use easily the little items, you can get for your camera that just click on your, onto your camera that I've showed you before to take macro close-up photos, or there's all kinds of other little inexpensive gizmos to get. But let me right now pull out this and let me show you. This is a spinel, a beautiful blue spinel in its own right. Now you can look at those inclusions. You can see them. Let's see if we can focus a little closer on them. Look at those. See what I'm talking about? That is why I wanted to keep this piece just for the inclusions. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Okay, I am going, you can see right there, 30 power. Okay, you see this next one I'm going to? That little switch, by the way, changes between light and black light. 60 power. So let's see. This may be a little dirty. I don't have a third hand to clean it. So let's focus on the inclusion there, Chuck, and not anything else. Look at that. Look at that crystal inclusion. Oh my. And it looks like it has, doesn't it look like it has another little cross, a secondary crystal on it? That's why I kept this all those years. Look at that one. That's a different mineral. Look at that. Hold on. I have to clean this lens for a moment. This is why Brad's wife hears me getting louder and louder as the show goes on. I'm supposed to go the other way. It's because I come across things like this and I can't help but to share my overwhelming excitement when I can see this on a big, I can't do this at home. I don't have a camera and a, look at that inclusion. And this is just with my simple little gizmo, that camera, and you can do this at home with that little thing I showed you that clips onto a camera. Look at it as I turn this, so let me get that glare away, because there's another inclusion. Look at that. Look at that. And of course, there's different focal planes, so it's tough to get them all. Look at those three. Can you focus on those three together? Just those three. Let's see what those are. Wow. Wow. There's that twin, that crystal right there is the most amazing one of the bunch. And then you see the one that's glaring below it with the termination that's pointed at the bottom there, and the other. There is so much fun to be had by the inclusions. And that's why sometimes inclusions are a good thing. I think it's always a riot. I laugh every time when people want a Russian demantoid garnet with a flaw in it. They want it with a flaw, the horsetail inclusion in it. And I laugh because, of course, there's a reason why. Look, there's that crystal on the side where, look at that. That is truly the two together, just like it would be as a crystal cluster outside, except this is inside a spinel. That would absolutely have made inclusion of the month. So yeah, people like inclusions. You know what? In the cashmere sapphires, they want to see the silk. They want to see the cross diagonal grown rutile silk that gives it that color it's known for, but it also tells a buyer that it has not been heat treated. So that's where another inclusion is a positive thing to have. The horsetail inclusion always is a riot. Technically, a Russian demantoid without that, right underneath the table where everyone wants it, is worth more money without that without that dang inclusion. But I think it's so funny. Everybody wants it because then that's their sign that they have a Russian demantoid. But you know, if you buy it from the right people, you know it's a Russian demantoid no matter. And anyway, yeah, I think it's just been always funny. Look at the little inclusion there with the point. Look at that one with the point. That double one, though, is amazing. So anyway, this is full of really cool inclusions and why I had kept it. It's also a nicely cut gem. Look at that. See what I mean? I am so glad they cut it. I think, and look at how the table, how shallow the table is and how deep the pavilion. That's pretty cool. But it has beautiful brilliance. Simply beautiful, beautiful brilliance to it. Look at the culet, though, is been whacked off, and that's why it leaves that kind of open culet space. But that doesn't matter. That's not what I see. All right, we'll put it right down here, right in front of those beautiful yellows, and give you the price on it. Wow, that's a big spinel at 2.29 carat. And that color spinel, even though it's not into the cobalt color range, but it is still a valuable color because it is almost a clean blue, which is rare. Most of the time you get a blue with a little bit of purple, blue with a little bit more gray. That is an attractive blue in a spinel. You can see the crystal from here. Boy, that's something I shouldn't even sell. I don't know. I would just take pictures of it and have in my collection. Oh, what the heck. $88. $88. And I hope if anyone takes really close-up macro shots of it, please send them to me. I would love to investigate more that little cluster in there. I think that's just really fascinating. Okay, I gotta get you. There's so many awesome things here. Here we go. Let's look at this. Item number 1206224. 1206224, and we're going to put it right up here with those other yellow stones for the moment. This again is a Sri Lankan gem. And boy, you can't mix them up because it is quite a bit larger. Look at that. Look at that. And look at the color. So that's why I did it, so you could compare the color. Look at the size of that. That is a large Imperial Hessonite. We'll take these others away, not to confuse you any more than I already probably do. All right, look at that. And then let me take these others out of there. Look at that beauty. Look at the size of that and the clarity. Now, you know, garnets are very commonly known to have little, it's like dust. And even the mandarins and all, as opposed to almandines and other garnets that are more commonly clean, these garnets often have a lot of dust inclusions in them. So, point being, when you have one that doesn't, like that, not so much, you want enough, of course, to know that you got the real thing, which certainly this tells you that, but it is, for the size, look at that. Very relatively clean. You can see it has those little tiny dust inclusions, but that's okay. To find one without it would be suspect that it would be something not genuine. They're Sri Lankan too, Ceylon. So I love the origin of these. And I have this guy priced really well compared to the market. And the larger size pieces it can be quite pricey. Indeed. 4.25 carat. I tell you what, I'm going to offer something on this that you're not going to believe, and you're just going to love the price on that big stone. Let's see. Wow. Yeah. So this is how I figure and why I come up always on the inexpensive end. Make it $58. Huh? How's that sound? $58. That sounds not like a lot of money, but that means one of you should take advantage of it. Okay, let me put that away. I'll be right back. The stone of the show, folks. And I'm telling you what, I never have normally used a lighter before, but it actually, with the lighting we have here, is what is replicating what the color change is in this ultra rare, amazing gem. I'll give the guys the item number, but we were so excited about this pulling off the actual color of this stone. I actually have seen it even a little bit more pink and purple at home, but with the flame, it really reproduces what is the pinkish reddish color the best for seeing in an alexandrite. Yes, this is a stunning alexandrite. You're looking at the pinkish purple color end. Now let's show you the other color to it, which is the green side. And now the sunlight is going to show you the best green that you could want in the stone. And it is a beautiful, beautiful green. A beautiful green in the sunlight. So it's an even stronger green. But look at this. Look at this gem. You just saw it, a pinkish purple color. Now, remember, this is a chrysoberyl. Chrysoberyl, alexandrite variety of chrysoberyl, is very plechoic. Changes direct color with the direction that you look through the stone. So you're getting some of that now. But primarily, look at that. Now, here's the other neat thing. There is, and of course in most chrysoberyls, including of course most alexandrites, flaws. This, for the alexandrite world, is extremely clean. Look at that inclusion right there. That is in a place where a prong could be, for one thing. But in another, I actually like it. You know me, and inclusion of the month. You know why? It is a rutile needle, and there is additional mineral growth that is formed around it. And it, at least this is what I'm thinking, that it's a rutile needle. It is a tubular type of inclusion, and it has some of the most interesting additional side growths on it. So let me just see, mess around here. Let me actually give a little more light, might help there. All right. If we don't see it, we won't worry about it. I'll leave it for you to have fun at home. I'm just looking at still all the other colors. Yeah, you're not going to, yeah, there you see in the top right corner, the inclusion. And, oh, there we go. There we go. Look at that. It actually, for an inclusion, is one of those really interesting ones with the additional kind of little like acicular needle growth off of it. But again, always helping to tell you, you've got a genuine article here. This stone has, of course, goes through multiple color changes depending on the wavelength of light that you're looking at it in. So we can see blues in this stone if we so desire, which actually you're seeing some of that now. And the angle of light can make part of the stone look one color in one area and another in another color, just due to the angle that you're viewing it in. Yeah. This gem is phenomenal in the world. And remember, chrysoberyl is the third hardest gemstone. So yes, there is, you know, this is an old stone, many decades, and it has no real abrasions on it, so I don't think it's ever really been worn. But if it has been, you can understand that hardest of 8.5, it's going to wear really well as a piece of jewelry. Alexandrites, price-wise, when I was looking at the different pricing on these, I couldn't believe how much these were going for. Even at the discount sites, even at the other TV network that's supposed to be a discount site, had pricing that made me faint and fall down just about, especially on stones this size. I'm just showing you another wavelength of light and the clarity in holding it. Look at that. Look at that gem. A real beauty. Okay, let me give you the item number so you can have some of the other information. I forgot about it so much. Item number 1206524. Tanzanian, even though it has a lot of look to even some of the orissa material, but more so a little bit of that purplish kind of hue and the little greenish blue hue that I have used to seeing in only the Brazilian material. So that would be a real find if it was, but everything else tells me that it is a Tanzanian gem, and the color change to go from the greenish tone you're seeing, and in the sunlight, it is even a stronger green. So the color you're seeing now is the worst it's going to be. In the sunlight, it's going to be an even better, stronger color on the green end. And then, wow. All right, so takes my breath away. And this is been an important stone in my collection. It is a world-class stone. This is mined in the Arusha region. And like I said, that area is just pegmatite full of everything from, you know, tanzanites to tsavorite. To beautiful, beautiful world-class gem. We've shown you the color change. Now to give you the unbelievable price. This is a price that I'll never be able to discount from. It'll never be less than this. If anything, you'll see it in another market, in another show elsewhere. Because at the price I'm offering this for is well below, well below what you're going to find these for. And I do want you to, before you make any of that decision, to go and look at comparable gems and see what they are being sold for, and then you'll realize and really appreciate this. So in typical Shawn fashion, doing math in my head, but that's the only way I can try to keep this brain working. So, you know, if I why not? My math tells me quit laughing. $1,688. $1,688. And that is a fraction of what it should be. A fraction of it. I got to stop and take a break on this. I'll be right back. Okay, I don't think I am even going to take these out of this package tube, because you don't need to see them. And at the price, look at that. That's a great hot pink tourmaline. That's an amazing green tourmaline, of course. And then you have a yellow tourmaline, quite unique. And then, well, I tell you what, because of this is a rubellite in anybody's book. And rubellites, remember, are type 2 gemstone officially, yeah, which means you can expect to find inclusions. Not quite a type 3, but a type 2. So not, as you can see. So it has inclusions, but you know, not as full as if an emerald was this clean, it would be really expensive. So that is indeed a rubellite color range right there. That yellow tourmaline is a rarity. This hot pink one, my goodness, those, and you know what? That better be a tourmaline and not a spinel, now that I'm thinking about it. If that's a spinel, wow, I really messed up. And then look at this. That's one of the really nicer color in the green range of tourmaline. So all four of those stones, yeah, wow, including that big one. So let's do this and make sure that you take advantage of it, because I am going to offer 6.40 carats, including that red tourmaline, rubellite in anybody's book. I don't know, $64. That doesn't make sense, but $64, yeah. And you know, because I price things like that, does not mean that if you see a rubellite upstairs that it's a $64 rubellite. No, it is just me. You're never going to find things this inexpensive. It doesn't mean that that's the value of them. The value far exceeds the prices I'm asking. So do not use that to judge value on. Item number 120, $66.24. Look at this. Look at this. Now, here is, let me put that right there for the moment. Here's a parcel of emeralds, and you can see that there is carved emeralds in there as well. Look at that. Look at the Indian, or well, Native American headdress and carving. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Yeah, Chuck, who carves in wood, he can appreciate carvings of any kind. And these I've had for a long time because I intended, again, to do something with them. I had items so long, so many projects. These are, the color, especially on this, is obviously Colombian. I have mixed origin because this, with the carbon inclusions in it, that I can probably pretty guarantee you is an Indian stone. They are well known for their carbon inclusions far beyond the carbon that's in a Colombian emerald. Look at that leaf. Again, in the Colombian emerald range. But you can see where an emerald can be what I would call a yellowish green, and this one a bluish green. Both, most likely, especially this one, the headdress, a Colombian emerald. The clarity or the shape of the original crystal, I would be curious about what they used or why they used it. Look at this. Here's a classic emerald cut emerald, and I wonder if what oiling would do to it. or if it has been. But nevertheless, in the emerald world, not a bad stone. And then look at this. Here's a cabochon. You don't see too many cabs. That could be used in a piece of fun jewelry with no problem. And that one as well. So here is a collection of mixed emeralds. And how about this for the entire batch of them? Only, goodness, $68. That's nuts. $68. That is less than $20 a carat. Those two carved pieces, I actually had notes where they were $200 a carat. Seriously, they cost $200 at the carat at the time. You know, obviously I didn't assess them the same way anymore. Item 120, 79.24. 120, 79.24. Let's see what that gets us. Oh yeah, we got some gemstones going on today. Look at this. Here's a fantastic mix of stones. And these are bigger. These are a bigger batch than the ones I've offered before. So you can see they're much larger except for expensive stones like the chrome diopside. Let me see if I can quickly tell you what they all are. Citrine, this is, you have chrome diopsides, a couple of them. Hopefully it's chrome diopside and not chrome tourmaline or something. Look at that. That is an amazing rhodolite garnet. Beautiful rhodolite of the color it's supposed to be. Here is another garnet. That is an almandine. Look at the size of this peridot. Peridot is not inexpensive. Blue topaz, I hope, instead of aqua. Citrine, it better be. Light, I don't know, that worries me. This, I'm going to say white topaz. These light colored ones, they don't make blue topaz that light color. That's most likely aquamarine. Maybe that one too, but I don't want to think about it. Look at this. Look at this. I love that color. Beautiful garnet, probably almandine pyrite mix. And look at this. That is a sapphire. What is that doing there? This is, to me, for me, one of my, if not my favorite color range, right in that range of sapphire. Look at that. That, to me, is the blue. That's the blue. A round, look at that, a round citrine, another big peridot that I think matches the other one, actually. And then look at that. This is a pink tourmaline. A pink tourmaline in there. That better be a tourmaline and not a sapphire. You know, with all my mixed stones, I really don't know. I don't take time to... I just look at them. And that one is a nice almandine. So anyway, there you go. The whole parcel, which is a total weight of 20 carats, my goodness. 21 stones, so an average of a carat per stone. And I am making that an entire parcel. I wonder why I never put prices on this stuff. Here, I know you're going to get it. Ready, set, say sold at $38 for it all. $38. Imagine. Just imagine. Okay, wait. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, time. Oh. Oh, here we go. Item 120, 8024. If I start raising my voice, you're going to know why. You're going to know why. This is what could cause me to have 1,000 people in my backyard. I wish I could say it came from my backyard, but it didn't. It came from one of the, this is from my Made in America collection. One of the most amazing mines in the United States that is still producing, but only being mined for jewelry quality. Ready, set, look at this. I am not kidding you. That is gold in quartz. Not golden quartz like yellow quartz. Gold in quartz. Or let's say a piece like this, it's more like quartz in gold. That is stunning. Now, if someone wants to, I am willing, because it's so stable. This quality quartz they call pearl quartz, pearlescent quartz, to drill the top of that and put a veil on it or a ring through it if you so desire. Part of me would want to do anything to it. The 16-to-1 mine is at the time, the mine was only, this high grade mine was only found in 1896, long after the gold rushes elsewhere. This is located west of Sacramento. It's kind of near the other gold belt areas, but it was not discovered until quite late in the gold rush kind of time period. And it was hit and miss. There were some areas that produced large quantities, but it would all be in one pocket. Let me set this down 1 second. That gives you a good side view of it. Well, I am going to be featuring 2 of them, this one and one other. Now, it was closed to commercial mining in 1965 after being discovered in 1896. It produced 1 million troy ounces. That's a huge amount of gold. The rate was 1 ounce per ton. That is, 31 grams per ton. That is far outside the limit of what is profitable for mining. And we're talking these numbers are back then. So 8 to 10 grams per ton is considered a very rich vein. A low quality vein, but still producible, mineable profitably, is a 1 to 4 gram per ton range. Now with heap leaching, they can get profitability down to 0.03, let's see, I'll calculate that, less than 1 gram per ton of heap leach mining. That's where they put a huge heap leaching, sheets underneath, drainage pipes, and they put a load of cyanide on top of it, and the cyanide pulls the gold out of the dirt and runs off as liquid underneath, and then they extract it from there. That's for really low grade ores that they're still able to make a profit from. In 1992, using metal detectors, which I started doing when I got mine in some of these old vein mines around here, and I have yet to hit a lot more that I want to go to. In 1992, using metal detectors, they found 12,000 grams in 12 days. In 12 days. It would be worth $1 million in today's gold value. They also had what they called their $1 million day. They found 2,600 ounces from one pocket in December of 1993. It was in 890 pounds of ore. So imagine in only 890 pounds of ore to find 2,600 ounces. So that's, let's see, that's about 3 ounces per pound, not ton. You're talking about 3 ounces of gold per pound. That would be visible gold you could see. And a pound of gold with quartz is not a very large piece. It's small. To have 3 ounces in that amount. So yeah, they called it their $1 million day. But other times, they have had long dry spells at this particular mine where they've had to sell off the mine's personal specimens, the mine owner's personal specimens, to keep it going. And that's how hit and miss it's been. They're following these little stringers, these little veinlets that were off the main vein. And even to this day, they feel like they have not found everything. But they converted to only mining for jewelry quality because it's one of the rare places here, United States, the 16-to-1 mine, and in Australia they have another mine that produces quality. Quartz can be ugly. It can be, rust colored and whatnot. No, this is that pearlescent white quartz with the gold in it. This is jewelry quality. They make a lot of jewelry out of this material. I've made jewelry out of this material. Let me show you. let me show you. This is one of the, I cherry picked this. We used to sell a lot of this material in the live show here at Gem Shopping. I've had pieces that were $30,000 pieces of gold ore. If those of you remember the show back then. Look at this. So you can see, look at that gold, and then all the way through the other side too. And you can actually do specific gravity and determine exactly the weight of the gold in here. And I'm sure that they do that because everything was priced differently per gram. And it had to do with the weight of the gold. So the dark material is going to be other sulfide ore material and most likely contains some quantity of gold or silver. Look at how beautiful that is. That feels just good in the hand. I mean, that will give you the fever. Indeed. And it's pretty neat. And I kept this one because I always thought about drilling it and making that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, yeah. What do you think, Latif? Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, see, look at even the aesthetics of the gold. If I had to paint something the way I imagine it, want it to look like that, this is about exactly the concentration of gold versus the quartz and how it would look. That's a stunning piece. This is a rare piece. It's from my personal collection, and it's just, I've gotten to a point in hardship times and I got to do what I got to do. But like I said, I'll drill it if you want. If not, probably just enjoy it that way. Nothing wrong with that. Put it out as a display item, however you want to do it. Price on that piece, yeah, I just, boy, it's just breaking my heart. I am going to offer that one for only, I know, $288. Only $288 on that. It's a phenomenal Mother Nature's work of art right there. Mother Nature's work of art. Let me show you. Now, I'm going to leave that one there for a moment. This is item number 120-8124. And this is, let's see, 120-8124. Do you have it? Let me show you piece number 2. Do you need the info, Latif? Okay. Here is the info that everybody can see right here. The 16-to-1 mine came from the same mine. And while he's writing that up, I'll talk a little bit more about the mine itself. And they would run into, they had one 40-foot vein. And that 40-foot long vein produced 140 ounces of gold. And that is considerable when you talk about even the price of gold today. Wow. And that was in August. In August of 1993, they had a 13-pound piece of quartz that had over 150 ounces in a 13-pound piece of quartz that they found. But then they would go a long times without finding anything. Now, I was closely connected to the people that were allowed to sell the material. Let me know when you're done. That were allowed to sell the material. And so I was able to get large blocks of the gold in quartz and offered them here at Gem Shopping. And they were in the ranges of, $20,000, $30,000 pieces. You done? Okay. And it was so beautiful, just so beautiful. Okay, so here is this piece number 2. Take a look at this one. Take a look at this one. This one, it's thicker, You can see the millimeters if you were keeping up with that. And it has this is definitely, I would say, not gold in quartz. This is quartz in gold. There is more gold than there is quartz. And of course, by weight, easily, because of the difference in the specific gravity. Look at that. Now, this is a piece you probably wouldn't want to drill, because where would you? You take a chance on, the structural, hurting the structural part of it. It's almost all gold. Look at that. It's almost all gold. And it really feels like that. This is something that you could carry in your pocket, I'd advise in a little gem tube or something, just as a little show-off piece, just a little good luck piece, a worry stone, however you want to call it. But this is the real thing. The gold, by way of carat, ran around 21 carat. So that puts it anywhere from like 87 to 90%. It's not like Georgia gold, which is truly one of the highest carat golds ever discovered. But it's also not like Alaska gold. Alaska gold is in the 80% kind of level. California gold, mostly around 90%. Georgia gold, 96, 97%. This piece I'm offering, and I'm going to make it easy on y'all, at the same price, $288. So there you go. $288, your choice. And I could melt these and come out just fine. Except they're just such a rare and hard commodity to find that, I had a lot of choices. Remember, I was in tight. So they would send, let's say 100 pieces, 100 different polished stones, and we'd pick out what we'd want. We'd pick like 20. So I got to, and then for these, I high graded out of those. So, because you can get a lot with big pieces of quartz missing, or with big potential cracks, or with the gold not being distributed evenly or attractively. It might just be more on one side. You see how evenly these are distributed? That makes all the difference in the world for the aesthetics of it. Just the beauty of it. Both of these, you can tell that I picked the cream of the crop, because they don't all come out looking so even and so attractive as these two pieces. Look at that. Look at that. Get a his and hers. Get both of them if you're quick enough on the draw. All right, so since that's the item number, I'll replace that one with this one so as not to confuse everybody. But even look at the side. There's gold even going all the way through it. And you should feel the weight. You feel the weight of it, and you know why there is such a thing as gold fever. Ah, yes, indeed. Now, let me put this one away, because I've kept it. I've had these, 10 years or so. And when I think about how much more they would cost now due to what gold was, I'd actually looked at what gold was 10 years ago, and it's like, oh my God. The value of the gold has gone up exponentially. Let's look at item number. Yeah, I gotta get going here. Oh man, Shawn, you gotta get going. Okay, so many things I wanted to do here. Yikes! What's this? Okay, we'll do that another day. Let's see. This one. 120, 74, 24. 120, 74, 24. Oh, and Matt, have you gotten your Geiger yet? I wanted to know. Let me know, Matt, because I just curious, and if you've gotten it done yet. Look at this. This is one of the nicest and finest tangerine quartz pieces I've ever had, and that's why I've had it. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful color? And with these other, aesthetically, these other side crystals from it. Look at the bottom. The whole thing is just beautiful. Of course, what's creating that is a hematite, is iron oxide kind of coating on it. So you don't want to remove it by doing any kind of serious cleaning of the material. Look at that. Aesthetically, if I could get it to, there we go. Let's just put it there. I love those little side crystals like that. All right, beautiful piece. Not a lot of money. $24. $24 on that. Really beautiful. Now, let me show you. Item 117, 1624. Let me just show you this real quick because I can't believe no one has bought it. I think it would look really fantastic to have that one and then dress it up and put these around it. This is a collection of 3 of them. Look at that. And this is real unique quartz when they, you see it's flat in on the B axis like that. You see how thin that is? So look at how beautiful that is. And really aesthetic. So that one, and then add this one. This is a set of 3. Look at that. Look at that intense color. This is a set of 3 crystals. So if you dress that big one up and then put these around it, then look at this. Look at this fun one. So these 3, you can get all 3 for only, I wouldn't even be showing them except since I showed the $15. $15 for the 3. So 15 and then what, 24 for the middle one? And what an amazing collection and display you would have of tangerine quartz. It would be along the order and of tough to beat for anyone else to have, especially the intensity of these and the uniqueness to the smaller ones like that. Okay, now I have something here, so let me get to these. This is item number, let me put that, so much to do. Item number 117, well, hold on. Nope, wrong one. Hold on. Sorry about that. Item 1206724. I have cat's eye alexandrite. Yep. Cat's eye alexandrite. We're not going to have the time to be able to show you some of the color changes. Just going to take my word on it. It's not going to be quite as intense as that faceted stone, but nevertheless, it's still cat's eye alexandrite. And boy, actually, it is going to be nicer than I thought now that I see this color. Wow. Because the green color is, wow, this is crazy. The green color is really strong. It is some of the purplish color. Let me kill my light and look at how good the eye is. Look at how strong that eye is. There you go. You can see right now the purplish pink color tone to it. And then let me see if I can bring out the green in it. You can see some of the green there, but you can also then see the green is going to be really easy to see because the sunlight takes care of that. And I am impressed, though, at how pinkish purple this is. That is a very strong color change, actually, in looking at it in this light. Because these go a wonderful green. Look at that eye opening and closing. Wow. Okay, so much finer gems than what I was looking at under other lighting. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. And so add to your collection, if you do not have a cat's eye alexandrite, not many people would because they are not inexpensive, except right now, because since I can't find the bag I took it out of, means that you're going to get a made-up price, which makes it probably really cheap. What in the world? I tell you what, let's do this. we'll go with, what did I do with that? Oh, here it is. Okay, got it. Wow. Okay. 61 points. Incredible color change. Fantastic eye. Incredible color change relative to what you would normally see in this material. $88. That's less than 150 a carat. Only $88 on that one. Let's look at the next one. Item number 120. 69.24. Yep, I'm offering a couple of these. I finally decided that I could not use every one that I had. This has a great eye and great color change. Those are my notes on it. So what in the world does that mean? Wow, 71 points. I am looking at it under other lights, and you see how green that is? Can you see it green with your eye from here? But the lights have it. Look at how purplish pink that is relative to what our eye is seeing.
That's good green.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this stone. So you can see, hold on one second. The way they cut them is based on the crystal. The back sides are always messed up cutting wise. I turned off just the one light there we have, and look at how sharp that eye is. That's why my notes have a fantastic eye. And now let me try one other light here. Beautiful gem, a beautiful gem. It's 77 points from the Arusha. Look at that. Look at the clarity to that. That is facet grade, except you wouldn't facet a cat's eye. Look at that. Great color change also. Great color change also. Price on this one, well, you know, I must be keeping it simple because I have it as only $88. $88. I don't know why. That one is a beaut. Let's look at one more. Let's look at item 120, 68.24. 120, 68.24. Let's see what this comes out as. Take a look. Take a look at this. Wow. Wow, look how the difference in cut. You have a larger stone. It's cut really flat, so, and it weighs less. But again, this is going to have a nice color change. Let's see what the eye looks like. We'll kill this. And if I could hold it right, it probably has, yeah, it does, has a nice eye to it. And wow, look at that. Look at the red in that. That is a beautiful red purple. Wow. Okay. And then the green. My goodness, there's our color change. There's our color change. Look at that. We've got the two wavelengths of light we've been needing. That is stunning. And the others will do the same. This one, make this one $88. $88 special. So let me look at this one. I'm just kind of curious. This other one that I still have out. Yep. The same. Look at that eye and then look at the color.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Look at that. And then you can see the red, the pinkish purple to it, and then the green. Look at that. And look at the clarity to that. Look at how sharp that eye is. Look at that color change. And it's going to be even better underneath a more of an incandescent type light. They're hard to find these days. Everyone's going with those stupid xenon bulbs or whatever they are. They're worthless. I can't stand those bulbs for gemstone use. So we are doing an $88 special on cat's eye alexandrite. Phenomenal opportunity. Okay, let me get to a couple things. Item 120, 76, 74. 120, 76, 74. Look at this. Look at this. Do you have it? Let me see. Yes, sir. Let me see. It is item 127624. Do you have it? Okay. This is a sapphire, folks. In case you didn't know, it is a round sapphire. That is, and that is, and with the silky look to it, that's what heat treating is for, is what normally gets rid of that. I don't know if this has been heat treated or not after seeing that way. These came from an old estate going way back. Shoot, I don't even know. I should have checked this better. It's got an inclusion, but I don't see a explosion halo around it from heat treating. Anyway, that'll be up to whoever wants to take a very easy to do gamble, because no matter what, heat treated or not, it's certainly going to be worth only the only the $58 I'm asking for it. So only $58, and that's a jewel of the Nile right there for the money. Let me show you item number 12075. Let's see, 1207524. 1207524. And here is, we're doing a little bit of a chrysoberyl special today. Look at these. Look at these. Natural, genuine color. And look at the clarity to them. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cat's eyes. Wonderful cat's eyes. And they, I had set them aside for potential recutting. Here, let's do this. And because they never cut chrysoberyls well. They always cut them for the weight and leave the backs all whopper jopper. And that one, I think I remember the eye being on the side. Let's see what this jewel, look at there, there's a beautiful eye right there in a facet grade gem. And there's the eye in that one. These actually, especially that one on the far right, may have a color change as well. And there's an eye in this one. I just don't see it right now. Either way, you can facet it. How about all three of those? All three of those certainly worth the price opportunity. Let me see here of, why not? $28. Why not? Just $28 on that. And 1 second, real quick here. I need to show back behind me. And this will be probably the last item of the show, I think. Item number 1207324. Saving probably the best for the last. This is a world-class piece. I only had, I think, 3 of these. I think Miss Gabby got one of them many years ago. And this is the last one I have. And there were only a few this large that came out of one pocket. And this is larger. Miss Gabby, this would go great with your other one. Blue chalcedony. Look at the size of this with still bites. Look at this. This actually sits on its own. Look at the size of this. This is definitely a cabinet quality specimen. It is blue chalcedony with incredible still bites. And what's unique is the termination of the still bites. Most still bites have like an arrow termination. These are really unique. Look at these when you look at them close. Look at how that one has, grown through, or the other one grown around it. When you look close, look at all the beautiful brilliance too. You see these. There is also, this is from my private collection, Look at all the still bites. Look at all the colors. Look at how intense the blue is. This was a really, look at back down in the pockets in there. Look at deep in there. If I was a little guy, I could maybe, Corduroy, you can get down in there. Look at that. Look at way down in there. Explore that. That is so cool. That is so good. Look how blue that is. That is what makes this so rare, is the color, the blue color of it. Let me look down in that pocket. Geez, that makes me just want to go prospecting. As we come out, look at this side over here. Look at this area in here. Look at these. There's also potentially lomentite, potentially some other minerals. Look at this, a bridge across here. Look at that. Anytime you see bridges, those are always very aesthetic, very attractive. Look at the still bites down in here as we drop a little lower in this entire area. Completely fascinating and mesmerizing. This is a large, impressive specimen. Here's the back. Here, look at this. This is it. Just look at the botryoidal formation of the chalcedony. This is world class. Look at that. Look at that. Stunning as we look at it from the side perspective. And then in this perspective, it weighs 9.6 pounds. This could be the centerpiece of anyone's collection, especially if you collect zeolites. Price on this one is a phenomenal opportunity if you want a incredible, beautiful, one-of-a-kind piece of a size that is seldom ever seen, and just a phenomenal opportunity. And I am going to offer this at a discount to what something like this would go for, and offer it for only $448. $448, a phenomenal world-class specimen. Oh, let me slide one more in here. 120, 60, 24. 120, 60, 24. I'm going to show those right in front of them, right out of the bag. Look at this. How about a bag of emeralds? How about a bag of emeralds? Look at these. Look at all these. And a bag of emeralds weighing 14 carats, all of them for $48. A little over $3 a carat. And I tell you what, look at that. Look at that. Nothing like holding a handful of jewels for $48. And crazy opportunity. Very last item. Sorry, what time is it doing? Oh, I got to end. Shoot, I had one more I wanted to. One more. Can I do one more, Latif? 120, 82, 24. This is one for a mat, or, well, anybody that wants to collect something really neat. I wanted to use something that I could use my Geiger counter for. And check this out. All right, so we know here is the relative reading in the room we get, which we know from doing this before, it's anywhere from 30 to 50 usually. Okay, so pointing this away from it. When I bring this specimen in, okay, here we go. We're going to see that this is going to go up and out of the range. This is, look at that. In the 250, but it's certainly in the safe range, but you can see it's definitely outside. But that's what you want, because this has xenotime and it has parasite. Yeah, it sounds like something that you wouldn't want to have, but named after J.J. Paris, who managed the Muzo mine where they first discovered parasite. let's go in close on this. Look at the agarine crystals that you've seen in other different minerals like charoite and whatnot have agarine. Then there are these tiny little yellow crystals I want to show you so then you can find them yourself. And they are the beautiful ones. Let me get something here. They are the ones that are really desirable, and they have a fantastic color. Where is my magnifier? Well, we'll use this. Let me show you. Too many gizmos out here. All right, let's go in and look. Here we go. Let's look right in here. There we go. Look at that. And if you can just, there we go. You see that group of yellow crystals? Yeah, there we go. Get the focus on them. They are very well formed. Those little yellow guys, there's some more of them tucked away. Those are the zenitime. Zenitime. And you can see more. There's also smoky quartz crystals. The smoky quartz, of course, caused by the rare earth elements that are in the parasite, which are giving off the radioactive signature, as well as the zenitime. This, look at how well formed these orthoclase crystals are. And then look at the way the orthoclase has grown around the agarine. We're learning how and seeing how that's done by my homegrown crystals. So there's an education there to understand exactly how something does grow around or is found in something else. What is that purple thing right there? There is a lot of other minerals to be found on this, indeed. So here is, you can see the flattened smoky quartz crystal right there. There is look at them, quite a few of them. We don't have time to explore this the way we should. Look at also these other crystals that I think are some eroded parasite crystals, possibly. See all these other little ones, or maybe some other zenitime. But I'm going to leave, look at that, some of that exploration to all. Look at those little yellow crystals there. What is that? That looks like a green. What is that? Didn't you see that green thing? Wow. I don't want to know what it is because I'd probably have to charge extra for it. So I'll unfortunately have to leave it here and let someone have this opportunity at this very collectible Malawi agarine specimen. And the parasite is a calcium cerium carbonate with fluorine, with REE, rare earth elements. That's usually probably what is putting off the signature. The zenitime is a yttrium phosphate with REEs, rare earth elements. That is also what is putting off the radioactive signature. The smoky quartz is probably that color due to the natural radiation from, and then there's zircons as well. And in a tetragonal crystal form, if you look closely, you can usually spot some zircons. This has got too much going on for me to go through with it. I'll let whoever is lucky enough to get the last one of these I have. I am offering this guy really beautiful. And if you collect, I think there's red fluorescence on the orthoclase too. Don't take me for certain, but I believe it does. But it's certainly a great piece if you collect minerals that have a radioactive signature as well. Price on this is a awesome opportunity at only $77. That's going to be the last item of the show. Unfortunately, I will be back with a trivia question in just a moment. I don't know where to start to finish. For one thing, if you can tell anything different in the background, well, that should tell you right then that the Raven wasn't here to help me. She's actually here, but she's doing a show with Zeno. So you got a Shawn version back there, but I figured better to spend the time showing you all the new items than trying to make it look pretty, even though I need to do a better job. But there were items I wanted to show that you hadn't seen back there also. So, and of course, this one being the highlight that I'm glad I got to show you. It's been a centerpiece for us for a long time. And it comes time, though, to need to sell it, and I'm okay with it. I just hope someone out there appreciates the size and the rarity of it. Just try to find something else like it. Most you might find on those, because I offered those before, some of those little straw chalcedony pieces with still bites with them, but they weren't what was rare by way of discovery. What was these large plates, and I bought everything that the miner had at the time, which was 3 pieces, and I still remember the offering well. And I said, okay, I'll take them. He said, he described this, and this is straight up Indian dealer, and he described just how rare they were, and that only one small pocket was found of them, so very few of them, and of what he got, there were 3, and I got all 3. This was the largest one, so Miss Gabby, if you want to upgrade yours, that would look really, really good. The Alexandrite, I have to thank Asa for coming in and helping me get that color indoors the way I wanted to show what I knew the color change was. In other words, the 2 opposing ends. The hardest one to show you is the pinkish purple end. So we got that. The green end, that's easy. You want to see something look even, I almost want to say grass green, but I wasn't going to go that far. To me, it's a Shawn's fescue grass green in the summertime. All my neighbors have that Bermuda fancy grass. I think I did too, but I think the fescue slowly took it over. And as my dad said, if it's green and it's alive, it gets to stay. And he had a good point about that. So, so in the sunlight, that stone is a beautiful green, a strong green, and then goes to that other color. So that in the world of tanzanite in a stone that size is huge. Those cat's eye alexandrites, I have to upgrade some of my lighting because, wow, I did not price them for the color change that they actually ended up to be. Quite stunning. So a great opportunity out there for all of you if you want a really rare gem. Cat's eye alexandrite is right up there. There were some things I didn't get to, but that's okay. I have another show I get to do this week. I'm excited about it. I've already got a good bit of the inventory done for it. I've worked over the weekend. The gold in quartz. No more of those. I wish I could find some nuggets at home or some nuggets in my backstream. I need my tractor. Yeah. Pavlov's theory on dogs is me every time driving by the Kubota dealership now. I just salivate because that gold is still calling me. There's still, you wouldn't believe it. It's not a fever. It's a pull. It's a pull saying, I'm here. Come get me. I don't know. It's like, so anyway, if I have to take on boarders, rent out a room or 2, and do whatever it takes, got to get that gold. I'm in the middle of the gold belt. It's my gold. No one else's. And that's that's another part of one of the stories I was going to tell you, because it was literally about claim jumping on these. So a lot of gold runs in these quartz dikes or veins, and it can extend, miles. And so, you get mining underground in the 1800s, there's no sense of direction that you're going in. Exactly. It was very easy to all of a sudden start mining a quartz vein and following it full of gold right into your claim next door that you don't own. And a lot of, claim jumping just didn't happen on the creeks. It happened underground, and a lot of gold was taken. And so the 16-to-1 mine at one point, this is not recent history, but this was a while back, that they decided to mine out the pillars, the things that hold up the mine, because they were just so rich in gold. And they, it didn't cave in. They didn't do anything like that, like the opal miners, some were guilty of. But that's how rich it was. They had to leave the supports, but then they're looking, staring gold at you in the quartz. That's how rich some of these veins of gold were. Oh, and I started off, and I never finished because I'm get off on these tangents, okay? I try to make more sense than other people that get off on tangents, but sometimes I forget what my original point was. The 16-to-1 mine. I started off to tell you why it was named 16-to-1. Because at the time, in 1896, the ratio of the value of gold was pegged at 16 times the value of silver. Hence, 16-to-1. And remember, gold for the longest time was only $17 an ounce. So, I mean, these guys, hitting if you hit 1 million ounces now, well, if you hit 1 million ounces then, it would be at $17 an ounce, it'd be $1.7 million. If you hit 1 million ounces now at $2,600 an ounce, wow. I'm trying to do the math on that. And that's so many zeros. That's why a lot of old mines could, if there weren't so many of these environmental issues, imagine that, could become profitable again, easily. In Colorado, there's mine tailings everywhere. And at 1 to 4 grams per ton, often they didn't see that as worth it at $17 an ounce. But 1 to 4 grams per ton now at $85 a gram for pure gold, a ton of gold, is like a 3x3 size piece of quartz. It's not large, so you can get quite a bit of money, and it doesn't, with modern equipment and machinery, you can move some ore. Anyway, I got the fever, and holding those pieces of gold again today gave it back to me. My mouth is drooling just thinking about driving by the tractor place. Okay, I got 3 questions for you. Ready to go? Yep, 3. Made it, the first 2 were too easy, so I had to add 1 more. Name 2 minerals that often, okay, let's do it. Name 2 minerals shown today that often have REEs, making them slightly radioactive. Now remember, REEs are rare earth elements. That could have been a question as well, but I decided to give you the answer. So they may not actually show up in their chemical composition if you look at what the particular mineral is, but they often will contain these very slight impurities, so to speak, of rare earth elements. And it doesn't take much often to let them have a strong radioactive signature. So name 2 minerals shown today that have REEs, making them slightly radioactive. Question number 2. A Chelsea filter is used to detect what element? A Chelsea filter is used to detect what element? And I hope you enjoyed that part of the show. And, I could skip some of these other parts, like showing you the homegrown crystals and all, but if you want a well-rounded professorial education, then we have to cover these other areas so you understand basic crystallography, basic chemistry, and then in the end, it ties it all together in your understanding of gems and minerals at a level far beyond what even a graduate gemologist level of knowledge is. They don't give the wraparound education. They just will focus on these narrow and specific gems. Here, I mean, you can learn about namulite. You can learn about rare earth elements, etc. All right, question number 3. Name the only place that rainbow lattice feldspar is found. Name the only place that rainbow lattice feldspar is found. And I need to raise my voice, I think, so that Mr. Brad's wife knows I still got the energy and I could keep going on. If I had the time, I've got the rocks and the minerals, and I have the passion. And I hope all of you maintain that same passion all your life, and that, you know, if you find rocks and minerals to be it for you, that just envelop yourself in it. Get out in the field in it. Take in every part of it. And you'll even enjoy it more because you'll understand the science behind it more. I know that's the way I feel. And it drove me even to the field to having to find it myself. Okay, God bless all of you. Hope all of you made it safely again through the storms. And I'm glad that I did as well. And that Asif had the wherewithal to be able to postpone the show. That worked out very wisely. And I will be recording another show for you. So enjoy the show since you're watching it Tuesday, and look forward to Monday. I know I will. God bless and see you then. Thank you.